This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 54 of the Stable Scoop Radio Show on the Horse Radio Network. The music of horses with Templeton, Thompson, and Patti Hall. Please support our sponsors as they make this show possible. Equestrian Collections brings the whole universe of equestrian shopping to your fingertips. Visit them at equestriancollections.com.
Welcome to the Stable Scoop, with weekly shows delivered right to you. With Helena and Glenn the Geek, live from the stable, it's every week. They'll bring you the news through hail or high water, while using their tails as their own fly swatters. So sit on down and laugh till you poop, cause it's time again for Stable Scoop. Stable Scoop. Stable Scoop. Stable Scoop.
This is Glenn the Geek.
And this is Helena B. And you're listening to the Stable Scoop Radio Show on the Horse Radio Network.
Hi, Helena.
Hi, Glenn. How are you?
All right, you're sounding very hollow today.
That's because I'm sitting in an empty office. I have nothing in my office except my computer.
And that's because you're getting ready to move at the end of this week.
It's on Thursday.
Yeah, I know. We're recording this.
I was trying to say not quite the end of the week, in 2 days.
We're recording this on Tuesday so that we could get this in before you head out. And we wish you the best of luck in the move. I know my wife and I have done that a few times, so we know what you're going through.
I have not done it very often. I mean, we've been where we are for 11 years, and I'll tell you, I hope unpacking is a lot easier than packing.
Well, it's a lot more fun because you're in the new place, and it's all kind of exciting.
Yeah.
You know? So that gives it a whole different dynamic than the actual packing part.
I'm going to trust you on that.
Now, I didn't say it's always easy to figure out where to put stuff and whether you'll always agree on that, but
that's true.
That's a whole different story.
That'll make a good episode.
Exactly. The unpacking episode.
Or maybe just the compromises between horse husbands and their wives.
Oh, there you go.
You know what? We should do that.
You always win.
We should do that as the follow-up to our Valentine's, but to our horse husband special.
Oh, there you go. Well, we decided it's simple. You always win. So
I like that. You're right. Can I set you up an appointment with my husband? Horse husbands. I could see you sitting outside the front yard in a little booth that says "Horse husband's advice."
Yeah,
the horse husband is in 5 cents.
I should be a horse husband psychologist. I could make money.
Yes, you could.
Yeah, we could all just commiserate. We could have a support group. I think there should be a support group.
Yeah, go ahead, start.
Hey, we should mention to everybody that you will not be here next week. You'll be actually in the process of unpacking. So we'll have a different co-host next week, and we'll be doing something fun, I'm sure. What it is, I have no idea. Haven't planned that far ahead yet, which is the way I usually do things, as you know. Mm-hmm. So, but it should be fun. We always come up with great stuff. And speaking of great stuff, I am so excited about today. You
should be. We've got some serious talent with us today. Some serious talent and sweet people.
We're getting into our DJ mode, Helena. We haven't done that before. We haven't spun any records since we started this show.
Oh, let's start a new trend.
I know.
It would be nice just to give our listeners a break from me and you. And
exactly.
Give them some music to let them chill out.
With our two guests today, we're certainly going to give them that. We are going to give them some music to listen to today. The show is actually called The Music of Horses, and that is because we have two very popular independent singer-songwriters with us today. The first has taken the horse world by storm with her very popular hit, Girls and Horses. And I know you watched that new video that she has out last week, the official Girls and Horses video.
Yep.
And everybody that watches it just absolutely loves it. And she did that at home. That was a self-produced video. And it was just so cute watching the old footage in there. And we're going to put that on our show notes. And if you haven't seen it, you can stop there to see it. We'll have all the links to everything we talk about today. There's going to be a lot of content, a lot of music, a lot of discussion about various things that we'll put links to in our show notes at stablescoop.com. We are thrilled that Templeton Thompson is with us today, along with her friend and fellow singer-songwriter Patti Hall. They both have a claim to fame and have some stories to tell and have done some amazing things with their talents, and they're really involved in the horse world. They're both horse people. They sing about horses, and that's what the whole show is about today. It should be a fantastic show and a lot of fun. But before we get to that, I just wanted to mention, and we wanted to remind everybody that we had Darley Newman of Equitrekking on a couple weeks ago. And, I think everybody remembers what fun that was as well, and that she was nominated for 2 Emmy Awards, Daytime Emmy Awards. Well,
those are coming up.
Yeah, that's right. August 30th. That's Sunday night. This show comes out on Friday. So if you're listening before August 30th, it's on CW Television Network at 8 p.m., and they're doing it at the historic Orpheum Theater in Los Angeles.
I hope I have my cable set up by then.
I know, so we can check it out and see if we can see Darley amongst all the other celebrities there. And actually, Sesame Street is going to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award for 40 years of educational television. That's one of the big highlights, and I know that, I think, did your daughter watch Sesame Street? Or did she?
She did a little bit when she was, around the toddler 3-year-old stage. But yep. I watched a lot of it when I was a kid.
There you go. Jennifer did too. My wife loved Sesame Street. Yeah. She still watches it occasionally. Now, I just can't stand it. But she watches it occasionally and has a good time with it. But so that's coming up Saturday night. We're going to get her on the show in the next week or two to tell us all about her adventures on the red carpet and meeting the celebrities.
She's going to dish about the Daytime Emmys.
Yes. So we should hear good luck to Darley.
And you know what's cool about that is she'll give us a horsewoman's perspective about it. Because, we don't care what other people think about life. We want to hear what horse people think about life.
Right, exactly.
So in particular, we want to hear what the Daytime Emmy Awards are like from a horse person.
It should be a lot of fun to hear from her. We're very excited about it. She's actually recording in Los Angeles now, doing some shows out there, some of Equitrekking shows. So she's very busy during this next week, and then Sunday night's her big night.
Cool.
All right, sounds good. Well, tell us a little bit about our first guest.
Well, so we're introducing, our first guest is Templeton Thompson, and you talked a little bit about her in the beginning of the show. You can find her songs on million-selling CDs from country superstars like Reba McEntire, Jody Messina, and Little Texas. Her song, Settle Down Cinderella, is featured in the 2006 20th Century Fox motion picture Dr. Dolittle 3. She's one of Nashville's most sought-after session vocalists, having sung countless demos as well as background vocals for major label artists like Reba McEntire. She's performed on stage for audiences across the U.S., in Europe, and in Japan. And she's best known in horse circles for her songs speaking about horses, and she performs at fairs and shows across the U.S. while riding her horse, Jane, love that name, who we will hear more about shortly. So we would love for you to sit back and listen to the song that every girl in the horse world can relate to. We'll be back after the song with Templeton Thompson. And here is Girls and Horses.
Well, she talks about them, dreams about them, thinks about him all the time. She's got to have him, be lost without him. You can see it in her eyes. What is it? What is it with girls and horses? She says, now when I was a young girl, they were my whole world. They were my one safe place. Now that I'm older, still lean on their shoulders. I still feel like that girl some days. What is it? What is it with girls and horses? Sometimes but staying in the game, maybe that's what it is. With girls and horses, well, I talk about them and I dream about them. I live to love them and I love to ride. I'll always have them, be lost without them. There's magic in those gentle lines. What is it? What is it with girls and horses? What is it? What is it with girls and horses? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Girls and horses.
Well, hi, Templeton, and welcome to the show. We're so excited to have you on.
Oh, thanks, and hey to you, Glenn and Miss Helena. I am just so honored to be here and just grateful, and I feel like a very blessed, lucky cowgirl. Thank you so much.
Well, I have to tell you how we heard about you. It was, I've heard about you for some time now, but what made me go, I got to get her on the show was on Equestrian Collections, who's a sponsor of ours. We'll do a commercial for her later. On their Facebook page, they have almost 6,000 fans right now on their Facebook page. They're the largest equestrian corporation number of fans on Facebook, actually. But she published your latest video, the one we just heard the soundtrack for, Girls and Horses, and it's your official release, and she published that, which you put out at Briarfest recently, right?
I did. It was so much fun. It was the world premiere, and I have to brag on my sweet, amazing husband because he did everything. He filmed the whole thing and edited that deal and made it all go. So bless his heart. He's the Renaissance cowboy, and I guess I'm kind of a little bit of a Renaissance cowgirl. You know all about that. You and your beautiful, amazing wife, you're doing everything, you know. But it's so fulfilling to do that. It's harder, but it's so rewarding. I'm feel really blessed. So,
well, let me tell you, it's a great video. It was, and it just, as soon as I saw it, I said, I got to write to her, and we were able to connect and get this together very quickly. And as I said, we just appreciate you being here, and we want to talk a little bit about you and how you came. This song really in the horse world has really. I just was reading some of the forums and some of the blogs and things. It really has taken the horse world by storm. This particular song, every horse girl can relate to.
Wow, thank you. That kind of it really boggles my mind, honestly, because I don't know. You know, I always tell people, and it's the absolute truth. Like when I'm writing songs, I never feel like it's me anyway. I feel like I'm just there catching it, and they're gifts. And that song just really fell out, and it was written by, I guess I was just sort of part of the deal, but by God and the horses, Jane and Bo.
Well, so, did you expect it to become really your hit in the horse world here?
No. I just felt really grateful for the song, and it seemed like when we had that song and then the other ones that came to be before and after that song, it just made sense to call the album Girls and Horses. So, no, I just kind of one of those God things, I reckon, you know. I mean, I'm sure that I put it out in the universe hoping people would like it. Sam and I always laugh and, you know, that people won't tell us our babies are ugly, meaning our songs, you know. We hope we put it out in the universe and people like them because it's always a little nerve-wracking going, oh, man, what are people going to think?
Yeah, we have that every week when we do a show.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Well, yeah, and you put so much energy, right, and all this time into what you do, and you just don't know, because I guess I know for me and Sam, and right now we're in the middle of a new record, and it's so lovely and wonderful. The process is incredible, but it's so easy to get so inside it, right? And you just wonder, what are other people going to think? So it was a happy surprise. I guess that's the answer, you know, a happy surprise that people seem to be relating to it and liking it, and I'm just really grateful for that.
Now, how does the process work when you sit down to write a song for an album, or when you sit down to write a song at all? I have this image of you getting inspired. I mean, it's so easy to be inspired by our horse friends. How does that work for you? Tell us a little bit about maybe a song, or what inspired you, and how that process works.
Oh, thanks. Well, and I got to say something too. Will you pronounce your beautiful name for me one more time? Because I mispronounced it earlier, didn't I?
That's okay. Helena, and thank you for asking.
Helena. I am so sorry. I said it like Helena Montana. Helena, I apologize. What a beautiful name. And it's
don't you apologize.
To meet you over the phone. Every song varies, and it just sometimes I really honestly don't know how it happens, because I really don't believe it's me. I've got a song that's on our newest album, the Life on Planet Cowgirl Sketches album, and it's called Wishing You Wings, and that song is also on the On Horse's Wings project as well. Executive producer, my friend Patti, who we get to talk to here in a little bit as well, and that song, one day, honestly, literally, it fell out, so they come like that sometimes, and then other times I've never birthed a baby, a two-legged baby. I've never birthed a baby ever anyway, but it feels like that sometimes. I mean, I can't empathize with that process, but sometimes songs, you know what I mean? I know that probably sounds
I think
really
you
weird,
might be closer to it than you think.
Yeah, maybe so, right? But sometimes they can be painful. Like, it can be hard to actually write it, and then, but it's always worth it. It's like, okay, maybe this is how it's coming out right now, but
Templeton,
it's not right.
The difference, though, is after you're done and it's recorded, you don't have to change the diapers.
Well, see, there's that. There is that. So
I'm sure she has something that's the equivalent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. My four-leggeds are my children. So, but if that answers the question, I think they just all vary. But I will tell you that, like, lyric and melody seems to kind of all come at once. Seems to be the deal, how it works for me anyway.
I'll tell you what, I want to get back to that in a little bit here when we get Patti on, because I think you too, who's also a songwriter and singer.
Yep.
And I think it would be interesting to have that discussion between the two of you also. I just wanted to touch a little bit, base with you a little bit on Briarfest, which just happened here in Lexington, Kentucky, in my hometown. Just a couple weeks ago, and you were here, and you got to do some pretty cool things. First of all, tell us about Jane.
My baby girl, my rock star. Well, she's just the most amazing horse on the planet, as is her brother Bo, of course. She is, my baby girl, and she's 9 years old. She's a registered quarter horse, and she and I travel the country and perform together. I sing from her back sometimes, and then other times we do, I don't know if I guess it's a liberty act, but it's just us kind of out in the arena together having fun. I am not a horse trainer by any stretch of the imagination, and thank God in heaven that horses in general and my Jane and Bo are so forgiving and unconditional, because, I was able to have Jane. I met Jane and Bo when they were yearlings, was able to have them in my life and actually in my backyard when they just turned 2, and they're the first horses I ever started in my whole life. Every horse I'd had in the past, they already know everything anyway, but meaning they'd already been started under saddle and all that good stuff. And this has been the most incredible journey to learn together. So it's funny, we've learned a lot in public, which kind of cracks me up. We'll be we kind of wind up practicing in public, doing what we do, because we played together in our pasture years before we ever went on the road together. So it's always this really joyful, fun learning process. She's always reminding me that she's way smarter than I could ever dream of being. And we have so much fun. And the kids at Briarfest loved her. Oh my God. And she loved them. And I think that was the most special part.
Is she the chestnut that you did the covers with?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, is she cute?
And now, did I see that they're going to make her into a Briar?
No, she's super cute.
Thank you.
Did I see they're going to make her into a Briar?
Well, what they did for now, but I'm putting it out into the universe, dream big, right? Work hard, have faith that she's going to be an official Briar model. I just feel that to my soul. But what Briar did, my sweet, amazing husband wrote a letter to Briar a while back. That's how the video thing came together because he started thinking one day and threw it out to me. He said, what if, because I know you played with Breyer horses your whole life growing up. I had an incredible Breyer collection. And he said, wouldn't it be neat in this video for Girls and Horses if the young girl that will be in the video representing you playing with your Breyer models as a child, what if one of those models was Jane? So that's how that all happened. So Sam wrote a letter to amazing Kathleen at Breyer, and I guess they'd kind of been familiar with us, and they were really excited about the idea and really into it, and so they made what they call a portrait model. So she's the Jane Breyer portrait model. There are only two in existence. I have one, and the other one went for $460 in the silent auction at Breyer Fest. I'm so excited. Wow. Raised money for great causes, yeah, and the most beautiful young girl. I am so proud, and actually, y'all, eventually,
you did have a baby.
I did have a baby.
Seriously, she does.
Baby. Yeah, oh, I do. They're. Oh my God, all my four-leggeds. They're my children. I mean, they're my heart, my soul, my whole world. So, that's how that all came to be. So,
well, I'll tell you what, too. You got to sing out in the arena while Stacey Westfall did her thing.
Oh yeah, my girl, Stacey. I love that woman. She's my sister now. Yep, that's actually probably the third time I guess we performed together, and one year we even did a deal at Congress together. Jane and I went out first and did our deal. I did all that in hand that year, just with Jane in a halter and lead rope, and we just kind of played a little bit because it was so cool. After she and I were done, right at the end of our song, right as we were sort of hitting the last note, Stacey and Roxy came hauling booty in the arena, like they do. Just, wow, unbelievable. So they had to leave the gates open. So here they came, and then I handed Jane off to my husband, Sam, and then I sang what I call Stacey's song, I Remember You, for Stacey. So, yeah. She's one of my dearest friends, and I love her.
And I will put that video. There's a video of that. I'll put that online as well. Hey, I just got an email here that I have to do something that's Helena doesn't know about this. I didn't know about it. But I think it's somebody else that you've worked with and become very famous working with, and she wants to come on the show and say hi to you. So,
really?
Yeah,
cool.
Just let me see if I can make this call and actually make this work, and we'll find out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, this is fun. I love technology.
Yeah. Well, let's see if it
when
works.
It works.
Let's see if it works first.
Cool.
See if you.
I'm trying to look to see if I can see the name, but I'm going to be surprised too.
Yeah,
This is cool.
Well, let's see if it
Drum
works.
roll.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's see if she answers now. She said she'd be at this number, so.
Hello, and thank you for calling Julie.
She didn't answer.
Oh.
9 to 5 Mountain Time.
Oh, we were so close to being really cool, Glenn.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can cut that part. We'll just try that again and see if she answers this.
Oh, you guys are cooler than you can imagine. You guys
Did
rock.
you hear who that was?
I think it's Julie, right?
Yeah. she just emailed, and now they're not answering their phone.
I wonder.
In the meantime, I'm looking at all the pictures of your horses. Does Bo's a chestnut too, with a white blaze? Yeah.
Yes, he is. They are half brother and sister, and he is such a rock star himself. His favorite thing is to do the Spanish walk, and now he rears. It's so cool. Like I don't do it from his back because Sam's like, please don't put that cue on him because he's Sam's boy.
Oh, well, I think we missed her, but anyway, Julie says hello, and you actually helped her with her TV show, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. She's so cool. She's using our song Cowgirl Creed as her theme song on her show, The Horsemaster, on RFD TV. And Jane and I and Sam went down to Ocala, Florida. Gosh, I guess it's been almost 2 years ago now, and did one of the episodes with her, which was really fun. So she's been a real friend. We all kind of call ourselves carnies, because of the Horse Expo world, right? And we all run into each other, and we're all family because of that bond. And I guess it was just that relationship that we had going, and she's always been so kind and supportive of our music, and I'm thrilled that she's using Cowgirl Creed as her theme. So it makes me very happy.
Speaking of kind, let's get Patti on here. Tell us a little bit about Patti.
Oh, gosh. I can't tell you just a little bit about Patti. I'll tell you that...
Tell us the best parts.
Yeah.
The best course. Well, she's one of the most amazing women that I have ever met in my entire life. She's one of my dearest friends. She is family to me now, and she has been incredibly supportive of myself, of my husband Sam, of our music, of our dreams. She's made a lot of things possible for me. She recorded our song Settle Down Cinderella before we ever knew each other. We found that out just kind of through the internet and emailing back and forth, and I felt like we were family from the moment we sent our first emails. She introduced us to Buck Brannaman. She made it possible for me to ride with Buck the first time ever. So because of her, I've really been blessed to become friends with him as well. And I just think she's one of the most amazing cowgirls on the planet, and I love her. She's my
And she sings a little too, doesn't she?
She sings like a bird. Sings like a bird. And just, I'm just really honored to know her.
Well, hi, Patti. We have her on here.
Well, hello.
Well, it's good to have you on from the West Coast.
Oh, yeah, out here in Seattle in the sunshine, believe it or not. The sun does shine on the West Coast once in a while.
Good.
How are you guys? Templeton, darling.
Hi, gorgeous. How you going?
Thank you. We need to ride.
I know. Come on over. We'll go for a spin tonight. We'll make supper. No, Sam will make supper because we know it would be bad if I tried to make supper. That would be very bad.
That's consistent anyway with horsewomen everywhere.
Yeah, we always joke about you coming over for supper, and we're halfway, well, more than halfway across the country away from each other, and just miss the heck out of her.
I know. Well, you know.
And Glenn
So Patti, you and
on the phone.
You and Templeton work together, but you also have your individual careers. Tell us a little bit about what you focus on in your singing and songwriting career, and then we'll talk a little bit about how the two of you work together. So give us the Reader's Digest version of Patti Hall.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I have been doing some work off and on in Nashville and L.A. the last few years, and just kind of chasing my dreams. It's never too late to chase your dreams and see what can happen. And I've always loved to sing and was fortunate enough to work with some great people and get my hands on some amazing songs written by Templeton and her husband and their co-writer, Porter Howell. They, to me, just write. They didn't know it at the time, but they were writing them all for me. And before I even met them, I was like, oh, my gosh, this is good stuff, and was fortunate enough to meet them along the way. But I have had the good fortune of being able to record and work with some great people and have thrown some music out there and had some just wonderful success with it, very surprising and very, I don't even know how to describe it. I kind of did it for posterity and to get something down permanently that I could play for my grandkids someday, and really great people took it and ran with it, and it was played on the radio, and like I say, I've had this unexpected success and even an award to take home from Hollywood from it, which was really exciting.
Ooh, jazzy snazzy. What kind of award did you get?
Well, in the fall of 2007, I took a trip to a red carpet award ceremony in Hollywood, California, where I was nominated for 3 awards, including Song of the Year, which Bon Jovi won, and I guess I'll let him have it this time. But I was up against some really cool people. And
I'll tell you, we were there good with some pretty serious company.
Yeah, it was really amazing, and I did walk home with Breakthrough Country Artist of the Year, and that was just super fun. And
congratulations.
Well, thank you. It was really a neat experience, and I came home from that experience just feeling so overwhelmed and so grateful for the success, the unexpected success, and feeling like I'd had enough about me for the time being, and I still wanted to do music. And I really, I got this bee in my bonnet one day about doing a charity CD for my favorite charity near Seattle that provides physical therapy on horseback to disabled people everywhere from infants all the way to senior citizens, and got on the horn. And, of course, Templeton was one of the very first people I called and said, I need some songs. And she was generous enough to give me 2 songs for that. And other artists, some Grammy-nominated songwriters, singers like Marianne Kennedy gave me a couple songs, and a very famous Western artist named Wiley in the Wild West, he gave me some songs. And James Kane, who's a great singer-songwriter from Nashville, and my friend Nancy McLean, and we all sort of put this thing together. And then with a lot of help and inspiration from Templeton. I would call her and say, hey, I'm thinking about this. Help me, girlfriend. What should I do? And this is what I'm thinking. Am I on the right track? And, of course, she was propping me up and saying, atta girl, way to go. And, yeah, and by the way, here's how you get a hold of Mary Ann, and helping me out a whole bunch, which was wonderful. But I basically spent all of last year putting that all together. And, of course, in the meantime, thinking that Buck Brannaman, who's such an inspiration and an amazing horseman and someone I'm honored to call a good friend, I thought he has so much to say, and his books are so inspirational, and he has great stories. And so I talked to him about sharing some spoken word stuff with us. You know, he's so great with words. And so he came in the studio when he was in Washington that summer, and Sam and Templeton were in town, and they came out, and she rode my horse in the clinic, and we had a great time, and they were in the studio, and Buck was reading these amazing inspirational things, and some of it was scripted, and some of it was off the cuff, and Sam sat down and started noodling around on his guitar and put this amazing guitar work behind it, and Templeton and I sang some oohs here and there through some of it, and it was just a neat, amazing thing. And here it is. It's out in the universe now, and it's doing really well, and all of the money goes to the charity, and I'm so happy to do something that's not about me, that it's about something bigger and for the greater good, and using music to do that, and touching with my horse buds in the music industry like Templeton, and putting this project out there. It's been pretty much all I've done for the last year, and it's been the most rewarding thing I've ever done. I'm really excited about it.
Let's listen to before we go any further. Let's just listen to this. By the way, the CD is called On Horse's Wings. Yeah. And you were talking about Buck, of course, and I think everybody knows Buck's name. You know, let's hear a little bit of him because he does have a great voice, by the way. So here's how about the man in the arena? Is that a good one?
Yeah, track one would be great.
Okay, here we go.
It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbled, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by the dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat.
And that's Buck Brannaman.
Wow. Awesome. I have to say this. Shortly after,
I got another one going there. Sorry about that.
Shortly after I gave birth to my daughter, and I was up at all hours of the day and night nursing her, my husband bought me Faraway Horses, which Buck rode. Oh. And I remember sitting in the rocking chair with her and reading, and I felt transported into another world, into another life, into another perspective, into another spiritual realm, reading those words. And to hear him just now with the beautiful guitar in the background just brought me to that same place. It's like it's heaven and horses. I'm not a religious person, but I am a spiritual person, and I can feel through his words, through your music, something bigger, something greater than me and everybody I know come just tunneling right down through that artistry. It's the only way I can explain it.
Oh, bless your heart. And that was
I'm going to get all weepy. I'm going to be like crying.
But it must be so fulfilling to be able to feel what a lot of people feel when we hear your music, when we hear his words. What do you do with that? Your heart just swells. You know, your soul wants to do something, and you guys get to do something. You get to take that and express it. Well, and I think that really comes through to your audiences.
Well, you know, I think that Templeton would agree that we do shed tears as we do these projects, and you know, like she said, there's sometimes that it's just flat painful. There's sometimes when you cry. There's sometimes when you laugh. It's a very powerful thing, and even just putting these songs together and making sure they were in the right order and making sure I had Buck's words intro into the next song right. And I spent hundreds of hours on making sure that I had that. I was just hoping and praying that people would feel that, when they listen to it. And the biggest compliment I get from people is they'll march up to me and go, "You made me cry." And I go, "Oh, are you okay?" And they go, "I love that CD. You made me cry." And it's not about me and my part of it. It's just the power of the whole thing. It's Buck's words. It's what he has to say. It's how he says them. It's the songs. It's the music. It's putting Templeton's "Wishing You Wings" song that I just love right after Buck says, remember to never, ever, ever quit, and above all, believe. And there's power in the sequencing of that. And boy.
Well, Patti, you had one that I absolutely loved when I listened to the CD. And I'm just going to play a little bit of it now. I don't know if you can guess which one I'm thinking of. And actually, you know what? This one I'm going to play a little bit. I'm going to play a little bit of two of them. This is the one off the CD, On Horse's Wings. This is Patti. And And at one point, we owned an old paint.
Oh.
I had an old paint. I lead an old dam. I'm going to Montana to throw a hula hand. They feed in the coulees, they water in the draw. The tails are all matted, the backs are all raw right.
And that one's called the Old Paint, and that's also on Horse's Wings. Now, we've talked a little bit about Sam helping out with Templeton, but your husband also helps out, right?
Well, I had him sing on my last full-length CD. He doesn't technically do that very often, but the night before, I said, "Honey, we're going in the studio tomorrow and you're singing." And he went, "Oh, but I don't sing." And I said, "Yes, you do. I've heard him sing lots, and he has an amazing voice, and he does some voiceover work and stuff like that. And I've heard him sing along the CDs, and I had him actually do a duet with me on my last CD.
And it's called This Love Is Real, and here's a piece of it.
Oh.
Now, did that have Helena crying now?
Oh.
Did you hear it at all, Helena?
Well, I know my husband would be crying if he heard that. He still can't believe he did that. Oh, bless your heart for playing that. I love that. That's my favorite one on there.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Oh, he did a good job, didn't he?
Well, yes, and he sounds like he's been singing, records forever.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's good at everything he does.
He's a rock star.
We Templeton. We've got the best husbands in the world.
Oh, they are so coming on the Horse Husband Show.
I know.
Oh my God! The rest of us can barely get our husbands to muck a stall, but you guys get yours to work for you and sing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, I'll tell you what. We are believe it or not, running out of time. Tell us where, Templeton, tell us where people can find your CDs. Where can they buy your music? How can they find out more about you?
Oh, thanks. Well, just my website, TempletonThompson.com, would probably be the best place to go. But I've gotten big time into Facebook too now, so that's really fun. I actually check in on that pretty often. So it's just however that works. So what is it? Facebook.com/Templeton Thompson. I think that's
yes,
how they do
and you're developing quite a following on there as well. So that's good.
I'm so grateful. And I got to tell you, too, I hear you mentioned Equestrian Collections, and we have some really cool stuff that's coming together with them that I can't really announce just yet. But I hear that my dear, sweet, amazing friend Jean Lambert is going to be on your show coming up soon.
Yes, she is.
Sister girl too, and I love her so much. And so I'm so excited because, you know, she's heavily involved with Equestrian Collections and all of that, and that's all through Facebook. And anyway, I'll just say that she's an incredible angel of a woman, and she's been incredibly generous and amazing.
We should say, you know, we actually we're supposed to put a commercial in here, Helena, in the middle of the show for Equestrian Collections, but we mentioned them several times today. Equestrian Collections is how we found you, and they have, I just have to mention real quick, their $1,000 giveaway on Facebook, on their Facebook fan page. Just go to Facebook and search for Equestrian Collections. Is coming to an end in another week. You need to get in there, go to the fan book page for Equestrian Collections, click on the wish list at the top of the page, and put $1,000 worth of anything that you would want to win in your wish list, and she's going to pick a winner to win that $1,000 worth of stuff.
Wow.
So, and she now you wonder why she has 6,000 followers on Facebook.
Yeah.
Chris from Equestrian Collections is incredible. We love working with her, and I'm glad that you're getting hooked up in whatever way.
I am so, well, I feel like I can't officially announce it, but I'll just say that it's all because of Jean and that I already love Chris at Equestrian Collection. So I have to make sure I let y'all know what's going on with all of that.
We always say here at the Horse Radio Network, everything's a circle. Everything comes around in a circle, and it is so true. We've introduced so many people to each other, and we've also, been introduced by everybody in that circle, and now both of you are just part of that circle, whether you want to be or not. So.
Oh, I'm proud as punch and really grateful, man. Thank you so much, Glenn, and thank you, Helena.
Patti, where can they find more about you? You have a great website, actually.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, PattiHall.com, PattiHall. There's a Patti with a Y, Hall, that's a singer, but that's a different gal.
Wow.
And then for the On Horse's Wings CD, I guess one of the things I maybe forgot to mention is that 100% of the proceeds of that, every dime, does go to the charity. Nobody's making any money on that at all. It's just all for good.
And what charity does it go to?
Little Bit Therapeutic Riding Center outside of Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
Yep. And where miracles happen every day, let me tell you. That's a whole other show for
okay.
For people. But littlebit.org, littlebit.org, will route you to where you can get that, and I cannot thank you enough for letting me talk about that today. It's just been my passion and my thing. Real proud of that. And Templeton was, like I say, just such a support during all that. How many phone calls did I give you during all that, Tempe? Oh my goodness.
Oh, I can't remember, but everyone was awesome, and I just, and again, I'll say Sam and I are so honored to be part of that deal because it's such a beautiful cause, and you know how much I believe in that, and just with Gala as well, and we just know the healing power of horses. This world gets smaller and smaller because of horses.
Well, guys, hold on here 1 minute. We thank you again for being on with us. Helena, we're going to have to wrap up the show. We are going to be back, or you won't be here next week. I'll be here, and you'll be back in 2 weeks, right?
I will be back in 2 weeks, yes.
Great. For all of the links in the show notes for this show, to all of the places that we talked about and the websites that Patti and Templeton talked about will be at the show notes at stablescoop.com for this episode. I need Templeton. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Pick a song off of Girls and Horses that we should end the show with.
Oh, you're so cool. How about Julie Goodnight's theme song? How about that? How about Cowgirl Creed?
Cowgirl Creed. That's what we'll take it out with, Cowgirl Creed.
It wouldn't take nothing but a whole lot of heart, iron will and gumption. I'll just use what the good Lord gave me. So don't call me honey, and don't call me baby. Don't call me baby. I ride high in the saddle, always saddle my own horse. Still I'm every inch a lady, from the outside to the core. I take the trail less traveled, 'cause I know where it leads. I live my life by the Cowgirl Creed. gotta count